In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the head unit or deck or radio, whatever you want to call it, in a 2011 Honda Odyssey. This is the LX model. It's the base model. I'm not sure if this will work the same in an EX and EXL. And this should be true right up into 2016 right now, because it's still the same generation of Honda Odysseys. But yeah, this is the LX. It's the base. It's a simple deck. There's no GPS. There's no hard drive attached. There's none of that stuff. The only thing this does have that's attached and probably won't work, from what I've been told after, is the stock 8-inch subwoofer in the back. Now, I am going to make another video because I'm big on subs. I like subs, and the fact that this came with a stock 8 amazed me. I was blown out of the water because it's a base model. I would expect them to take that out to cheapen it up. But yeah, I'll make another video for that. But anyways, this is a pretty big job in a way, but it's also easy. This panel here, and actually the whole dash, from what I read in the Metra instruction book, they all have to come off to get this deck out. Now, from what I've read, again, there's no screws holding them in, so they just pop off. So anyways, we'll get going with that. So here we go. I'm going to start popping all the trim off. Supposedly it comes off easy, no screws. I did take the little cover out of here. Now, I don't think I needed to, but I did anyway, just because I thought there was a screw behind there. Always with this trim, be careful. This piece, and I think all the other pieces, kind of bring it up at a 45-degree angle to try to pry up at that angle, because that's what the connectors, the friction connectors, are put in at. Now, if you ever crank them the wrong way and really crank them, they will snap, and then it'll look like crap because it'll kind of like poke up in some places once you get it back on, once you go to reassemble it. But that one was easy, and I'm hoping the rest of them are the same. That one came off really well. I had to actually pry pretty hard, but came off, nothing broke. And that's what matters. You do not want to break any of the clips. It is never fun. So, as you can see, we're pretty much there already. It's not too bad of a job, except I think the hardest part's coming up. The full dash. So, try with that. I'm going to check the instruction manual once more before I go ahead and do this. Yep, it's this piece right here, this trim piece all along here, not the actual dash, just this trim piece. Sorry about that, I kind of read it wrong. Yep, very nice. Oh, I love this so far. It is treating me well. Sometimes you can get into this stuff and it's just so hard. Before I go any further, I'm going to mention that do this at your own risk. I am by no means licensed mechanic or anything. Smart to disconnect the negative terminal on the battery, so nothing short, you can short nothing out, stuff like that. But yeah, if you screw anything up, not my fault. Don't come back to me. So here's where we start removing screws. These two back here. I'll try zooming in, but it's going to be hard. There's one behind the shift knob up here. Don't lose these. If you drop them, they will fall down into the cracks and crevices, and you probably will not get them out. So there's one. Looks like an 8mm head on it if you want to use a socket and ratchet. These two we will have to use a socket and ratchet because they don't have a Phillips head on them for some reason like these ones. So there, the top's loose and I just need these two. And so here I'm back with a 8mm socket on a ratchet. I like extensions for car audio work for some reason, just because it brings you back off the stuff. Like get in there, that wouldn't be too bad if I needed to. These ones are a bit smaller. Remember to put the smaller ones back in the bottom. So, from what I read, that's all we need to take this guy out. Oh, right down here, they're kind of clipped. It's kind of clipped in. I just had to pull back and push down on here. Came loose. Jeez, it's in there pretty tight. Yeah, wow. I'll figure this out and I'll start the video up again when I get it removed, and I'll show you how. Okay, so this isn't in the instructions, but I decided I needed to do it anyway. There's 4 Phillips screws on this bottom trim piece up here. One here, one here, one here, and one here. And then I just popped it out a bit. I didn't rip the whole thing right off because we don't need to. Just popped it out enough to give the deck some room. And now I can wiggle it out. And there we go. That's it. Now, be careful right here. The second you disconnect the radio wiring harnesses, it will put the deck into stolen mode. That's my name for it. Call it whatever you want. And that means to get this deck to work again, you'll have to go to a dealership or call Honda and provide them with the VIN and the proof of ownership to get the code to unlock this deck and make it work again. So make sure you have everything ready, your whole new aftermarket deck ready, and be sure it will work, or you will not be able to use the radio till you go get it unlocked. I have my wiring harness done, I have my antenna adapter, and I have the mounting kit for here ready, so I should be good. But if I ever want to put this back in when I go to sell the van or something in the future, you will need that passcode. So it's going to be hard to see from there, but remove all these harnesses off the back somehow. There's 4 on mine, and I will get a close-up of them just to see if yours is different or anything. There is a clip back here. And this, the big wiring harness, the main one, it's going to be hard to video, but there's a special way of doing it, it looks like. There's a special lock on it to, there. So just push that white thing up and it pops itself out. Sounds like there's some money in here. I did buy this van used, so, you know, whatever can happen. Yeah, okay. Well, the Metra kit I bought, I'll show you in a minute, but it requires these stock mounting brackets. Now, don't complain, because all that does is make the Metra kit cheaper for stuff you already have. So there's 8mm screws on it all over the place. Take those out, and take this top pocket trim piece off. 2 Phillips screws, and I'll get all that off, and then I'll mount it up to my Metra kit. Just a little heads up about the top trim piece. You have to, I would suggest, instead of pushing it forward, which I just did and it came out, but it wasn't coming out for me at first, there's these little clips right here, and there's 3 of them. Push them with a flathead screwdriver just to prevent anything from breaking, and then this will come off. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to see in the video, but look down there, there'll be these little clips, and push them with a flathead screwdriver and it'll be good. Okay, so got the deck all off. I'm going to show you these connectors. Now there's 3. The Metra kit only comes with 1. Now that's fine, but you have to realize that putting an aftermarket deck in this vehicle will screw up a lot of things. It will make a lot of things not work. This screen up here, the display screen that shows all your tuner, your CD information, it will not work at all. It may, I'll turn it on really quick. I have the battery connected. It may display time, but it also might display nothing like it's doing. It is totally off, so you lose that. I am fine with that. I can't stand the stock deck in most cars, especially this one. So I'm swapping it out no matter what. These 2, probably one of them goes up to there, or both of them, I'm not sure. The sub, so from what I know about the sub, because that matters a lot to me, it is powered from the stock deck. The stock deck has a small amplifier in it, like it would for the speakers anyway. Very small amplifier that powers it from here. There's no external amp in this vehicle from what I know. I will let you know if I change my mind on that and I find one. But right now I'm actually, before I get it in, I'm going to test out the aftermarket deck I have. I have an Alpine CDA-105. I bought it used. Gonna try it out in here. The connector, the Honda connector from Metra looks good. Pop it in, lock it down. And radio adapter too, you need that. It looks good too. It looks like the same connector. All these I got from Metra, and I will provide the model numbers in the description. Oh, okay. Didn't notice that. The antenna has a power antenna cord on it, so I will just need to hook that up a bit differently. So I threw the power antenna cord back here. Yeah, there it is. Plug that in. Perfect. I'm going to test it without the power antenna wire connected. Almost thought this didn't have an antenna port, but it's right here. So there, everything I need is connected, and I've already wired up my wiring harness right here. I heard the deck get power. Turn it on. Onto the tuner. Sounds like the overall function of this deck works. Now I'm gonna try and search for a station, but I don't think one will come up because I do not have the radio powered correctly. Nope, it's no good. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Oh, whoa.
The area this afternoon, however.
Okay, I got one radio station.
With a high of 16 degrees. Tonight clear with that temperature dipping down.
I have one radio station because it obviously didn't require the. This must be a line amp to amplify the radio station. So I got one radio station because it must be close and strong signal, but definitely need to connect that to. This is the subwoofer for an aftermarket amp, remote wire. But this one, this green one, it says power antenna, or blue one, says power antenna coming out of the deck. That's the one I need to hook up to this. Now, I don't think I need the other end hooked up to the wiring harness, but I'll double check that. Sometimes these wires go to nowhere, but I'll double check that. Just between there, it has no pin because it's not used. So I'll get back to you in a minute about that. Okay, so this wiring harness with the power antenna, it goes in the fourth hole from the end here in the bottom, and I checked on the Honda OEM harness coming into the deck. The fourth hole, the fourth small hole on the bottom, has no wire coming out of it. So pretty much what I'm going to do with this is cut it. It is not going to be used. No good. And then strip this wire, the power antenna coming off the aftermarket deck. Strip that and connect it to the power antenna wiring harness. Make sure you get good connections. You don't want these coming loose and having to rip out the whole deck just to fix one connection. Now, there's different ways of connecting wires. I like these butt connectors. Some people might not think they're the best. Some people might think they're awesome. You just crimp them down, and I usually never have problems with them after install. Some people use like Moret's, do not use tape. Some people will go to the full length of soldering and heat shrinking the wires, which in my opinion is awesome. If you're going to do that, good for you, but I am not that crazy, and I've never had problems with these butt connectors. So I connected that. Gonna connect this all back up and connect the antenna adapter, and hopefully my power antenna will have power, or the line amp at least. The antenna I don't think is technically powered, like it doesn't move up and down. I do like testing it before mounting it all in, because if you can figure out any problems now, it helps out. So I'm going to do a scan. Nice. That's good. That is working. So I think we're good to go. You can go into the audio and test all the balances, balance it or test all the speakers, fade it to the front, rear, each speaker, check. I really don't care. I think I'm good. My connections were good. So yeah, I'm gonna mount up the deck to the Metra kit. I'll show you a bit of that. And I'm also going to figure out right now which wire the sub goes to, because I do have that whole back panel off. Because I really wanted to figure out if there was an amp in the car, which I can't find. So I will quickly look at that, and then I'll get back to you on the mounting. So here is the 8-inch sub in the back of the Honda Odyssey. The wires come out here as brown or red and black, but then they go into a clip, a wiring harness, and they change to brown and blue. So I found these up front at the deck, which I was told that it was powered by the deck, and right here I got those same brown and blue wires. So that confirms that it's powered by the deck. How I'm going to... Now, there could be an amp in between, whatever you want to say. It's possible, and the wires just stay the same color. But from what it looks like, these are, I don't know, 16, 18 gauge wire. I can't tell by eye. Maybe, probably not 14 gauge. 14 is a bit big. Maybe. So yeah, they might even be 20, 22 gauge. I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do to retain the subwoofer is, first I'm going to upgrade the actual subwoofer. Use the same box, because I would like a higher powered 8-inch. Like, you can get some crazy high powered 8-inch subs. And then I'm going to put an aftermarket amp back there. There is some room behind the panel, so I think I will be good to keep it hidden and everything. So pretty much what I'm doing is a full aftermarket sub install minus the box. Gonna run my remote cable from here, my RCAs from here, back to the back. I'm gonna run, 8 gauge power from the battery, and there's a nice ground point back there already, so I'm good to go. Everything should be fine off a aftermarket deck, and I will be happy. You don't have to do that. You can just delete the sub. Who cares? But I like the sub, so I'm going to make it better. Okay. Well, there's that part. I'm going to, since these are two different videos, I also have the video of hooking up the aftermarket deck here. I'm going to get back to that, and I'll put the link in the description for that video too. So first thing to do, they want me to do, is mount this stock trim piece to the Metra kit. Metra isn't the only place you can go to. There's lots of manufacturers for kits available, but I like Metra. And they always seem to work well and fit nice. So that's the one I'm going to put in the description and everything, part number. So that just goes on there like that. Make sure it's lined up decently. Doesn't exactly clip in the same, but it holds on perfect. And then I have to find the screws that I took out. There are these two silver screws. So there's that part. I will figure out some more. So one thing, most decks come with these metal sleeves. They are good for some installs, depending on the mounting kit. But this one is a bolt-on install. So I need to take the sleeve off. It's good because I actually need it for another Alpine deck I have that didn't come with one. And then these have L and R on them, so just in case you get confused. So left, I'll put on. Like so. Now, lining up is sometimes an issue. I will check all my mounting stuff and then get back to you on that just to make sure I have it lined up correctly. So there's actually only one place these bolts lined up, the bolt holes lined up on my my deck. So I did those, and then you mount the pocket underneath, and it looks pretty good. And there's a trim piece for my deck that I still haven't put on. That'll go over. That'll look good. So yeah, it's kind of foolproof. You can't screw that up because it only goes in one place. And then I'll do the other side. Okay, so I'm pretty much ready to mount it. All my mounting pieces are on. There's 3 things with this deck I did do. One of them was run RCAs just outside, just to under here, under the driver, or above the driver's feet. And alongside with that, a remote cable attached to the remote output on the deck, just in case I ever want an amp and sub back there, because running this now will be a lot easier than ripping the whole deck out later and doing whatever. Here I just use speaker wire for the remote cable. You don't need a blue cable, it doesn't matter. Here I use 6-foot RCAs because I don't have 20-foot ones right now to reach all the way back, so I'll just join onto those, and I just plug these in the subwoofer output on the back there. And then this deck, which is newer decks, will be a bit different than this. I have a newer Alpine deck in my car. This one has a short USB cable coming out of the back. Mine has a long one. So I added a extension on and then attach it to my Lightning iPhone cable. So what I'm going to do with that is in the LX model, in my model, there is only one power output here, 12 volt, and below it there's just this cover piece because they're too cheap to put a second one in because it's the base model. There's this cover piece, you just pull it off, and then I am going to run this extension cable around the tray for your cup holder and through here. Oh, I ran it the wrong way, goddamn. This end, run it around and through here. That's actually really nice that it comes right through there. And then what that gives me is I can connect the iPhone to it, I can connect an Android, whatever, because that is a normal USB right there. And then this goes in the back of the deck up here. So there I've saved myself problems in the future if I ever switch phones or if someone else wants to use their phone. Okay, I will get mounting it now. So here we are. Deck is mounted in. I don't have it screwed in yet, but I'll do that right now. Looks pretty good so far. I'm hoping not to have any fitment problems with the faceplate cover. So I have all my cords that I'll run in the future down here and the USB poking out. I'm actually pretty happy how this install's gone. It was a bit intimidating. These newer vehicles aren't as easy as the old ones. I have a Pontiac Vibe, and if I have everything wired up, it takes me about 10 minutes to switch out the deck. Just one faceplate that covers it instead of 3 different trim pieces that are big, and it just pops out. But this one isn't too bad. I'm not complaining. I actually thought it'd be worse. I thought the dash would not come off as easy, you know. Actually, it won't be too bad if I do have to open it back up to switch something in the future, which happens. Now this dash kit, it's for single DIN and double DIN head units, so you can put a big nice touchscreen in here, which I always think are better than the stock ones anyway. Stock ones aren't fun when you have to pay, especially with navigation, when you have to pay $250 for map updates every year or something stupid. Alright, so before you pop the bottom back in, pop the bottom clips into this new kit piece here, down here. Pop that in, then pop the whole bottom piece back in. And there we go, there's that. There, I had a little problem. This was too low on the deck. It was that far, so it wouldn't come flush here. So what I had to do was take the deck out. I didn't unplug any of the wires. Loosen the screws on the side of the deck and try and shift it down as far as I could, just based on what the screws would do and the screw hole play in there. And so I got it down far enough that it is good now. So I can actually put the faceplate of the deck in and everything. But yeah, I guess I'll get the deck working and then I'll put on everything else. Okay, so everything's pretty much done. Just need to put in a couple more screws back in at the bottom. Ended up, I'm pretty happy with it. Went together pretty well. Looks decent. Definitely not as clean looking as stock. Stock will always beat that, but you know, this is good. The function is what I care about. I love having my iPod or my iPhone connected all good and stuff like that. So put back in these screws. Grab the top trim piece of the dash. Now you have to, what we're doing is we're just putting everything backwards the way we took it out, or in reverse of the way we took it out. So this, yeah, have to make sure you connect the wiring harnesses for climate control, or you won't be able to adjust anything. See how this pops back in if it's, oh yeah, nice. Looking pretty good. Make sure everything's connected properly. Then this guy. I'm really impressed on how this fan comes apart up here. It's in there solid in the first place and it comes out easy. That's what matters. Just want to make sure it's fully clipped in everywhere. Don't have it coming up later. I doubt it's clipped in right here on the aftermarket dash part or aftermarket kit part, just because I don't know, it doesn't really feel like it. And these are a bit flimsy. They don't snap in as easy just because they have nothing to back them. But that's fine. It looks good. You can't see it pop up there at all. And this last trim piece here. And it's all good. Everything worked for me. All my speakers are working. Sub doesn't work, obviously, which is known to happen. But yeah, look at that. Thank you for watching. I know it was a long process, but I wanted to be detailed and descriptive because I've seen some other videos of this model, and there's not a whole lot out there and telling you exactly what to do. The Metra instruction manual is good. It does tell you most stuff except for this bottom piece that makes it easier. But anyways, it's nice to watch a video like this before you do it. I would have really appreciated a video like this, but I had to make it myself, and I'm happy I didn't break anything because it's easy to. Anyways, again, thanks for watching. I'll put my sub hookup video in the description once I get that done, but for now, I'm just doing this. See ya.